We got a 2017 Mercedes CLA 250, and I'm going to show you how to run your power wire through the firewall and show you how to actually get a remote turn on. If these are the type of things that you're into, please consider subscribing, because these are the things that we do here at this channel. Car audio tutorials, radio removals, anything car audio install related, that's what this channel is about. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you can actually turn the amp on. The amp does not need a whole lot of current to turn on, but it does need 12 volts. There's a couple of different ways that we can actually do this. We can try tapping off the fuse box, the cigarette lighter, or we can actually use a different module that I'll get into a little bit later. What I like to do is test the cigarette lighter. This is just some little thing that I have. This red light goes on when it sees 12 volts. So when we plug it in and it doesn't do anything, it lets me know that it's 0 when the car is off. And when we turn the car on, I get that red light. So we can tap off that cigarette lighter for ignition. Now, you can either do it directly at the cigarette lighter plug in the back, or you can go to the fuse box. I actually have a video showing you how to safely tap a fuse box. I will link that card over here and put that down in the description for you. But I want to show you how to tap into it right behind here, because there is a couple things that you need to know, because it may be some things back there that may throw you off. So I want to show you how to do that. So for this Mercedes, it's going to be pretty easy. That's popped. Well, I popped that off earlier, but it's only held in by clips. I promise you it comes off just that easy. That also comes out as well. And then we have these 3 wires right here that goes to, turn my light on. Once you take that out, we have these 3 wires right here that actually goes to our cigarette lighter. Now, why is there 3 wires? Because one is ground, one is 12 volt ignition, and one is illumination, which means it's going to get 12 volts when you actually turn the lights on inside the car. Well, let's go ahead and test all of them. We get 0 volts with the car off on all 3 of the wires. Now, if we turn the car on, we still get 0 volts on that brown, so I know that that's ground. Here, we get 12 volts on the black, and you still get 12 volts on both of these wires. Now, the reason we know that, I know this one's probably going to go towards the actual lighter plug and not the little light, is because of the gauge. It's a heavier gauge wire, so I'm assuming that that's going to be it. But what I want to do is turn the car off. We'll test that wire, showing that it's still showing ground. Now, even though this one's showing ground as well, if we turn the lights on, wire is going to show us voltage, and this one's not going to show us voltage with the lights on. So now this shows 0 volts with the car off, 12 volts with the car on, but also 12 volts with the lights on. 0 volts with the car off, 12 volts with the car on. That's the one that we're going to tap into for our remote. Now, if I didn't want to do that, or let's just say that that was 12 volt constant and I couldn't use that as a remote wire, instead of trying to go to the fuse box, I could actually use one of these. This is a phantom ignition module, and it's good for like CAN bus systems, hybrids, and all that type of stuff. But basically, this gives you an ignition circuit, and it has a time delay, almost like a retained accessory power. So you basically, your black goes to ground, your red goes to 12 volt constant, and that blue outputs 2 amps of current that can turn on your amplifier. And you can choose whether this thing has a 10-second delay or a 120-second delay. I'll have a video about this, but I will put this down in the description as a link to where you guys can pick this up if your vehicle actually has 12 volt constant and you can't actually get a remote wire from the fuse box anywhere. Alright, so we have those things taped up. I went on ahead and military spliced this one and taped it up, have it ran down to the back, and I'm going to tuck all that stuff later. Now let me show you how to get that power wire through the firewall. Alright y'all, so Mercedes actually kind of threw us a bone, which I am surprised about but also happy about. When you get back here, if you look up, that's where your main harness is at, right there, that's coming in from the firewall. We're not even going to worry about that. If you pull this little piece back right here, you will see a secret grommet that they have down here, and we can pull this out, and that brings us right up under the brake booster. Now what I'm going to do is take this little wire tool, fishing tool that I have, and I'm gonna stick it up and see where this wire comes out at in the engine bay, and that's how we're going to actually get this wire, the power wire, on the inside. So the fish tool ended up coming out on the other side of the brake bolster right there, right by the battery. And I just took my power wire, electrical tape it, and then now I'm just going to end up pulling it through, and it should come straight through because we don't have that grommet in place. Alright, so now that we got that wire inside the car, all I did here was something simple. Just made a little slit on the inside, and we're going to run this all the way up to we get to that part. Now when I get closer up here, I actually have some strip caulk that I'm going to put on the back end just to kind of do a little small seal with it, so no fumes come inside. If it rains for whatever reason, the hood's up, you don't have to worry about nothing actually getting inside the car. Close that back up. I already have my kick panel off, so we're going to come here and go under the carpet. Under like that. And then what I'm going to do is run my remote wire the same way. I'm going to go behind the carpet so I can run it all at one time. I'm going to zip tie it to this factory wiring down here. I already have these panels off, and then all this is going to get ran to the back. Now I'm going to be speeding through certain parts that should be kind of self-explanatory just for the sake of time for this video, but if you guys want to know how to fully install an amp, I do have a video showing you how to do that. That link should be popping up here in the corner. That way we can keep this one short, sweet, straight to the point. Let's get to that LOC. Alright, so we're in the trunk. This is our factory amplifier, and what we want to hook our LOC up to is whatever wires that actually go to this subwoofer. So we look right here, all these wires are in this little bundle, so I went ahead and cut it up here just because it's easiest for me to get to. Now you see all these twisted pairs represent a pair of speakers, positive and negative. These are the heaviest gauge wire right here, so I know that these are going to the sub, not just off the gauge, but I got the wire color. So we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna show you how to test to make sure that these are the right ones. Alright, so I got the wire strip back right here. I got my positive on the solid red and my negative on the brown with the red stripe. And now I want to take my speaker popper that's going to the sub. That's how I know that that is going to one of the coils on this sub. Now, like I said, I already got the wire color, so I know which ones that I actually needed to get. So if you guys need any type of wire colors, I usually give that type of information to my Patreons. Those guys go the extra mile to supporting me, so I go the extra mile in supporting them. And Patreon is a platform that I'm using to give more of my one-on-one type of trainings and kind of help you guys out with your systems and installs, because it's kind of hard to answer all these comments that I'm getting. It's like 100 a day. I try my best to keep up, but sometimes I can't. So now that we find these wire colors, we want to put the positive on the positive, negative on the negative for both sides. And I do hook up the left for the left and the right for the right. We got these military splice and tape. Now let's go ahead and get these taped up and run our RCA to our amp. Alright, so I've already zip tied this connection to make sure that the tape stays on there, and then we zip tie our LOC right here, and we're going to run that RCA, zip tie it all the way down here right around the factory wiring. I'm going to pull it up under this carpet and then head it to our amp. Alright guys, so I got that amp mounted on the back of the seat. We're going to get a couple shots of the sub actually moving. If you guys found any type of value in this video, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, share, comment if you want to. If you want me to do more of these videos, let me know in the comments if it helped you out a lot. This is going to be a new series of videos that I want to start to actually show you how to get that wire through the firewall, and how to run your remote wire, or how to find your remote wire to trigger on the amp. I know that's a real big question for a lot of different vehicles, so along with the Raider radiator removals. I'm going to start that. Now I'm not going to actually show how to install an amp every single time. I've already made a video for that. I will link that in the description and put that card in the corner. But if this thing actually brought you some type of value, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, share, comment if you want to. Those product links will be in the description, and the Patreon link, if you want to be a furthermore supporter, will be in the description as well. And if you don't want to be tied down to anything too long term, there is that heart down there in the corner where you guys can hit that thanks. Not asking anybody to do anything they don't want to do, but anything that you do is greatly appreciated. This is your boy JP signing out, man. Y'all have a blessed day.